Hi guys, thank you for joining me. So today we're doing a project. I made this coaster last night and then I showed it, and I've already had a couple people ask how I made it. And it's so easy you won't believe it. I actually learned this technique in junior high. And the yarn I used was the I don't remember the name of it, but it's from the Dollar Tree and it's nice soft yarn, okay? But you could also use regular yarn. You could use anything you wanted. You just wrap around a cord, that's all. And I am using this, now it's kind of thin, but I did want it thin. I didn't want a big bulky one, you know, like when I learned, we used like the thick clothesline cord, you know. Also, this one is nylon. So then I thought that would be better for a coaster. You know, you don't want this soggy wet cotton mat, you know. So I like how thin this is. I like that it's plastic. And won't, you know, you never know what's going on in there. Is it going to get moldy or gross or something, right? The hardest part of this is the start, and there's no easy way to tell you how to do that. You just have to start. So I'm going to show you. And as you go, you tuck your strings in, so it's like really easy, okay? And I've never worked with twine before, so I don't even know if I can thread the needle with it, but here we go. This is an authentic try it out while I show you. Okay? So, and I don't want to lick twine. So we're just going to pinch it there. I have some needle threaders coming. I have some more big eye needles coming. So to start out, just to give you an anchor, and you'll see why, we're going to start out with a loop. Because you'll see why. Okay? Because we were not taught this in school, but how do you wrap string around that and have it stay and, you know, not come undone or anything, you know? It just sounds dumb.
I just like the cheese so much.
So you just make a loop. I'm guessing that's an inch or so, right? And you just start wrapping it.
Spices to the eggs sometimes, but I don't really like sauce on them. Maybe a little bit of like taco sauce sometimes.
And I'm making this up as I go, okay? And the middle part is just finicky like that. You just have to start, okay? And that is hurting to pinch that.
I don't really care for Arby's sauce.
Okay? So then what you have is, I'm going to clip that because it's hurting to pinch it. Okay. And we'll fix it. It'll be fine. So then you're going to wrap it close to the end, right? And then you're going to see this. This gives you an anchor. So you won't have string and your cord coming unraveled on you. Okay? So this is just anchored in there now, right? Now we've got some more wrapping to do. And we can wrap it around there a couple of times to make sure it's covered. I don't know. I'm just showing you the loop anchor thing that I came up with. I don't remember doing this in school, but I wanted, when I started this, I just didn't want it unraveling. You saw how this cord, did I already say that, was unraveling just as I was holding it and showing you.
Are the eggs cooked good?
Okay, so there, we got that pretty well. Okay, so then what you do is you start wrapping it. Okay, and you're going to just stick your needle in somehow through all of it. Okay, and you're gonna start making a coil. Okay, that wanted to curl down. I'm okay with that. And we're going to cover all this up, so don't worry. And then you just start making a coil.
It's like the same but different.
And it's fumbly.
I'm surprised they don't try to get in that window more
There's not enough of a sill.
when it's over there.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Like,
Yeah, I'm surprised she doesn't try to like poke her head through the window. Like through
Okay.
the fur.
Now we're ready to start wrapping. And we're just going to ignore any wrapping we already did, and we're just going to start over. Okay? Let's see which way this wants to go. It wants to go that way.
Just not having that visual break is like.
Okay. So then you're going to wrap 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll just start with 3. On the other one, I wrapped 5 times. But on our starting point, well, heck, looky there. What did I do? Okay, got my string hung up. On the other one, I wrapped 5 times, but for this one, just for our start, I got my needle locked in. Okay, just for our start, we're going to wrap it 3 times. And as you do it,
It's easier to just have them laid side by side.
you tighten it.
I don't like trying to like fold
Okay,
it over
1,
and get it on the same
2, 3. Okay, now we're going to push it through this. We already made one, our first circle, our first round. Okay, our beginning of our coil.
That's a lot harder to quantify.
Okay,
than the line.
and now we're gonna go 1,
Yeah, because eggs are
2,
used for so many different things.
3. So for the first couple,
So many
you
times
just
over.
want to
Yes, that's true.
wrap it 3. Then when we get a row or 2 out, we can, and you just pull it, and it starts making a coil. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So just to get a good center coil,
Oh, what's that? Arby's sauce.
we're gonna only start with 3 wraps,
You know, I think we saw some.
and then after you get like a row or 2 out, now I'm gonna get this at a good point, and then I'm gonna show you how to join thread and tuck it in and hide it as you go. Okay, see, if you pull that tight, then and it's okay if that comes unwound. Okay, and then when we come to a good point here where it's a little more stable, I'm gonna show you. Gosh, this needle's kind of fat. I'm gonna show you how to add like if you run out of string.
Back pay.
Mm. My hand has had it.
Almost used up 1/8.
I've had surgery on my thumb.
Good though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicole's been making this 6 hard boiled eggs.
I'm going to do one more and then we'll cut the string and I'll show you how to join it. So then what all you do is you wrap it 3 times and you tuck it into the previous loop. Round, what do you call that?
I've seen this episode.
What would that be called? The previous row. Coil. Some of it you might have to, I see with this jute that I'm having to scooch it a little more. Okay?
Ruby sauce? So
We can snip off what we don't like at the end. It's not going anywhere. I'm trying to get that tucked under there a little better. Yeah. Okay. Well, I better wrap past that. I'm going to go ahead and start 5 just so I can get the tail end of that coil or that previous thread cut or tucked in. Golly, this needle's fat for this. I'll have to start wrapping a little looser maybe. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we're just going to pretend we ran out of string. I'm going to leave my needle threaded and we're just going to cut that. Okay, there. We ran out of string, right? So, and I can cut this one because we've wound that to death. So that's all wrapped. That piece is all wrapped in the coil. Okay. So then what I do, just to anchor it, it's probably not necessary, is I go, okay, instead of just having this here and then just start wrapping, because it doesn't want to, it wants to slip and slide on you. So I go right through the last wrap stitch, right? And you leave that much, it doesn't matter, an inch or so, right? Then that anchors it. So then when you start wrapping, it's got somewhere to go. It doesn't just, it's not, trying to have a personality and do its own thing. That just kind of locks it in. And then you just, you just have those tucked in. And then you just keep going. And that's how you do it. Four. And then on my 5th wrap, I lock it in. Okay? Okay? So then you do the same thing for the end. I did the same thing to end it. Is I cut it. I'm not going to because I'm going to keep going on this when I'm done. But I cut it and I made a loop, and then you do put that over here. Then you do all of your wrapping, right? And you just keep going like you've been doing. Okay? And then the 5th one you would anchor to the previous row, and then you wrap it and then anchor it to the previous row, right? And then once you come to the end, okay, pretend I've worked all this in. Then when you come to the end, you have something to lock into. And then you just, okay, I'll just pretend like this is the end. I can undo it. Okay? So then you just lock into that. And then after, and of course you would wrap it all. And then you go into your previous row and then you just finish it the same way you started it. But wrapping it like that gives you something to lock into. So this won't be a frayed mess. Or an end. I mean, okay, let's say I'm just showing you my thinking and what I'm trying to avoid. Okay? And this will depend on the kind of cord you use. Like I said, I'm using this plastic stuff, right? But I don't know how much I need. Okay. There. But how would you end that on a row and then that sticking out, and then it's gonna want to stick out unless you have a better way. But like I said, for my start and end, just to bury and have it not come undone and frayed, because this is slick, and then if you wrapped it, this would just, when you wrap it at the end, it would just slide off. I don't know a way to get around that. So that's why I came up with the idea to make a loop. And I'm sorry, macrame people, y'all probably, have better ways to do this. Okay, so I will show you how I made the tassel. Okay, I'm just going to use string because this one could use one more somewhere. Right here, it had a blank spot. So then what I did was I just had a piece, like that long. Okay, however long that is. I just needed enough to come down and be a tassel and enough to tie and work with. So there. I'll measure it for you. Okay, it's about, just say 8 inches will be enough for what I did. Because you don't want real long tassels, right? So I wrapped it around 2 fingers and I did, okay, so this counts as a half a wrap, right? So coming down, that's 1 wrap. Because you've got 1 complete wrap here, right? 1, 2, 3 is all I did. Okay? And then I had these cut ahead of time. And then I put this through here. And then that way to tie it, just coming through the loop.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay? And then I spaced it. Let me point. Okay. So each wrap across the top is where I put one. Each in between each wrap down. And that's where I put the things. But like this one is on that side on the far right, and this one ended up on the far left, and they look far apart. So we're just going to give it one. And where did my crochet hook go? Oh, here it is. So then what I did here was just put in a crochet hook. And this 8-inch string that we just ran through our loops, you're just going to grab one of them. Okay?
That's too much. See, Dad's not that. Dad is not that.
Okay?
All right, kids, get on your bicycle. We're going to church.
So here is our tassel. And here is our string. Okay? And I just tied it in a knot. And it kind of just lends itself and goes to the tassel. It's like, oh, I'm part of the tassel now. It doesn't stick up awkward, I didn't think. Now that got flipped over. We want to keep our knot on the same side. Okay? And then make sure it's tight. And then we bring it, and then we comb it down, right? And then we cut our 8-inch one, and we're cutting the loops from making our 3 rounds. Okay? So there. And that's how I made it. And it didn't take long at all. Alright? And this one, I'm going to use the jute to make the tassels. The kids thought that'd be cute. Alright? Thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Bye.